gentlemen, time for another Christmas week matinee. We've been watching Christmas movies all fucking week long. Actually, the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, you said ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Like it's a damn television program.
It is.
Back in the 50s.
Ladies and gentlemen.
This was pretty good. This shit here, I had to restart that.
Yeah.
This one was a pretty good one. Imagine if, if The Thing was a Christmas movie.
And with also kind of like a black comedy sort of element. But it's very, very dry comedy.
Yeah.
So this is Rare Exports, A Christmas Tale. This is a Finnish movie. Came out way back in 2010. Somehow, because I think somebody said earlier that they thought we had covered this one already. And I thought we had too. But then when I was watching it, I was like... Because it comes up on like pretty much every, best Christmas horror movies list. So I'm like... I thought I had seen it, but then when I was watching it last night, I'm like, yeah, I don't think I did see this actually.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because I guess I heard so much about it that I thought I had seen it. But yeah, so this movie is like 10 years old, and I was only just now getting around to seeing it. And I have to say that this was pretty delightful.
It's pretty good.
I really, really love the idea of it. And now here's something that I didn't know until after I watched it and I was starting to do research into it. So the thing where the idea for this movie came from is in 2003, the guys that made this, their names are Jalmari Helander and Juuso Helander, and they made a short film back in 2003 that was called Rare Exports, Inc. And it was about, and it's on Vimeo. I think it's also on YouTube too, because I watched it earlier today. And it's basically about these three guys. One's a tracker and one's like a sniper and all this other stuff. And their job is they go and hunt wild Santa Clauses in Lapland and then ship them out. They train them and then they train them to be mall Santas and then they ship them out like all over the world. And it's done very, very seriously. Like it's this very weighty thing that they're doing like in Lapland. And it's like it's passed on from father to son and all this other, it's like hilarious. So they made it's like I said, it's a short film. It's only like 7-8 minutes long. And then it was so successful online, like it went viral. So then they made another one in 2005 called Rare Exports, The Official Safety Instructions. And this one shows what happens when you don't care, like when you don't follow all the rules that you're supposed to follow when you have one of these wild Santa Clauses in custody. And it's pretty funny because it's like pretty gory. Like it goes into the movie as well, where you're not supposed to swear around them, you're not supposed to drink around them, you're not supposed to smoke around them, or they get like really, really aggressive and they'll like tear your face off. So basically this movie is like showing you everything you shouldn't do. So they have like this one guy like in all this fucking padding and everything like that, like smoking and swearing at the guy, and then like the Santa like flying out like kicking the shit out of him. And it's like super, super funny. And then like at the end they end up having to like put one of the Santa Clauses down because he went like they're like once he smells like human blood, like he can't like train him afterward. So it's like it's a fucking brilliant idea. I don't know if I would. I'm kind of glad that I saw the movie first and then saw the short films, even though the short films came out prior to it. Because when you're watching the movie, you don't really get into the whole shipping Santas out. Like, that's really not until the end. You know what I mean? Because pretty much the whole, premise of the movie is that there's this team. I think it's like Americans and British people. And there's one guy who's like an archaeologist, I guess. And he's clearly supposed to be Belloc from Indiana Jones. I mean, I'm pretty sure that that's who they modeled that after. And especially because the end scene of the movie is also very Indiana Jones-esque. So he's digging in this mountain, which is called Korvatenturi in Lapland. And he discovers that this huge mountain was actually the grave of Santa Claus, like that he's frozen in a huge block of ice. So they extract him, and then like there's this little reindeer farm that's like right near it, and the two little kids that are like spying on it, and the one little kid Pietari, who's kind of like the main character, he believes that Santa Claus, like he has all these books about Santa Claus, and basically what they're doing is they're doing the Sami people, where they have that, myth about Santa Claus, how it's based on the Yule goat. You know what I mean? Yeah. The Joulapuki or whatever they call it. That's what this dude is. But you can't really see him that well in the movie because he's like frozen in a block of ice, but he looks like kind of like a big Santa Claus, but also kind of like a Krampus.
Yeah, you never really get to see him.
Like he has like big, huge goat horns, and he's like he's
Yeah.
really, really huge.
That's the only thing I didn't really like about the movies, that you didn't actually get to see the Santa Claus.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
mean,
not, the kids plainly say that it's not the Coca-Cola Santa Claus. That's the fake shit.
yeah.
All right. What we know of it, the Coca-Cola Santa Claus is kind of based on the elves. The elves look like Santa Claus. It's got old dudes with beards.
Yeah, there's like naked old men running around.
That's the way the elves look. And I guess the way Santa Claus really looks is, I think it probably just looks like that, like a Krampus.
Yeah.
Something big with horns. It's huge.
Because you could kind of see him, and like I said, you could see the drawings like in the books that the kid had, so you're just assuming that that's probably what the creature looked like.
Yeah.
But because you don't really see it until the end, and it's still partly frozen in the ice, you can see its big horns sticking out, and you can kind of see the outline of it like in the block, but it never gets completely thought out.
Yeah. Because I was kind of disappointed. I wanted to see it.
Yeah, I think one thing that a lot of people, like, I don't really hear a lot of complaints about this movie because a lot of people really liked it. But the one complaint that I heard on a couple of the things was that they wish there had been more horror in it. Because they do show stuff like, they catch one of the elves, which, like I said, is just like a naked old man that they think is Santa Claus. They catch him in a wolf trap, and they think he's dead because he had, like, spikes and shit through him and everything. But then, like, they take him in and they're going to cut him up because, like, the main guy, who's the dad of the kid, Pietari, is like a reindeer. They kill reindeer and cut him up and sell them for meat. And so he's going to cut up this old man. And it turns out the old man is still alive. And when he smells children, he starts getting all agitated. And then one of the guys, like, tries to, like, is fucking with him, like, with gingerbread and everything. Because I guess they're attracted to gingerbread also, which I thought was very funny. And then, like, it bites that guy's ear off. But you can see, like, the elves, like, kill people. But a lot of it's, like, off screen. Like, you'll kind of hear something and then, like, all hard hats will come, like, flying into the shit. So it's not, like, real bloody or gory. But I will say that people that kind of complained about that, once I went back and watched the short films, those are a lot more gory. Those are like a lot bloodier.
There's a lot of homages to The Thing in this.
This is very much like The Thing, except kind of funny.
You're right.
You know what I mean? And this is probably one of the best ideas for a movie. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like the most creative, particularly a Christmas movie.
It's taking place in the snow. It's a group of Finnish hunters, and they all kind of look like Crussels and Keith David's.
It's a gang of Crussels.
Deep in the honky motherland. And it's just, they got, their sons are with them. They're hunting deer. They got guns and snowmobiles. And they're just trying to figure out what killed the deer. And the kids know it's a Santa Claus. It's not the Santa Claus we know, but...
Yeah, it's not the Santa Claus. Because they don't find out until later that the little old men running around.
It's a monster.
They don't know if that's like the actual Santa Claus. They don't see him till the end. But I think one of the best things about this, other than the idea, which I love the fucking idea of... Because, I mean, basically what they do at the end, like when they get rid of the big, huge monster, you know, the Krampus thing or whatever it is, the Yule... I guess it's based on the Yule goat, which is like a dude with goat feet, which is kind of like a Krampus.
Yeah, but they showed its feet, and it had feet like a human's. Remember, it's living huge footprints.
No, that was the elves that did
is that was?
Yeah. Because the elves just look like regular, like, naked old men.
That's right, because this thing never thawed out.
That thing never thawed out. That's right. What they were doing, because remember, like, at some point during the movie, like, everybody's like, why did all my potato sacks get stolen? Why did all of our heaters, like, somebody broke in and stole all of our heaters out of our houses, like, tore the radiators out of the walls and shit like that? It's because they put them all, they had this hanger, and they were, like, trying to thaw them out.
They had all the kids in sacks.
Yeah. He was gonna eat them.
Yeah. It's funny shit.
It was pretty funny. Like I said, it's like, it was a really, really good idea. And they really, what ends up happening is, like, after they get rid of, like, the big monster, they decide, because all of the reindeer, because the elves killed all of the reindeer and ate them. So obviously they lost, like, all this money, because that's, like, their only source of income was this reindeer meat. So they decide what they're going to do is they're going to start this company, and they're going to start shipping these Santas out like
Yeah.
to malls and stuff. But the funny thing is that they have to train them because these are essentially like wild. I mean, they're old dudes, but they're like wild animals.
Yeah, they don't talk.
Like they can't talk and
No.
they'll just like eat your face if you like make them mad. So they have to like, so they have like this big long thing at the end where they have them all and they put like little dolls in their laps and like when the things try to eat them, they're like, no. And they're like, and they're like hitting them and stuff.
It's kind of cool. It's
yeah.
cool.
And it's like I said, if you see the short films, the first two short films, the first short film, which was Rare Exports Incorporated, basically is like as though that company was real and had made like not necessarily a commercial, but they were like telling you like how the company worked. So they had the thing about the three guys and it looked like the three guys that were in the movie. Like I don't know if it was or if they just had dudes that looked like really similar, but it looked like the same actors. So they had them like going out and, you know, darting like this fat old guy that was like running through the tundra or whatever. They had to keep darting him like to put him to sleep. And then they take him back to the thing and he's like, you know, they have to hose him all down and everything. And then like they strap him in a chair and he's like misbehaving and they like keep whacking him with a stick until he's like doing shit that he's supposed to do.
Yeah, the funny thing about it, you know, is that these guys are real kind of serious fucking macho, you know, rednecks of the North. You know, beards and shit, fucking guns. And they're doing this fucking crazy shit trying to train these elves. And they're like totally serious about it. Just deadpan.
That's what makes this movie so funny to me.
They tried to actually get... They felt that these elves owed them $85,000.
Yeah, because they ate all their reindeer.
Right.
They ate all the reindeer.
So when they first find one, they try to get money out of it. It's just like, you know.
Yeah, like we have Santa Claus and they were like holding him for ransom.
Yeah. And he didn't even have any clothes on, so I don't even know what you know. How is he going to have any money? Dude doesn't talk and didn't have clothes.
Well, no, they were trying to ransom him to the archaeological team that had dug the Santa.
When they first met him, he says, "Where's our money?"
Yeah.
Remember that? We want our money. Funny shit.
But like I said, I think that's what makes this movie that's what made it so funny to me is that it was like deadpan serious. Yeah. Like I like that it's not, even though the premise of it sounds insane, like it doesn't come across as wacky or zany or anything like that. It's played like very, very straight, which I think makes it funnier. I mean, to me, like makes it funnier. And I will say that I really love the little main little boy, Pietari. That kid was like adorable. And also, I guess they don't really go a lot into it, but I guess his dad is kind of like, I don't know if their mom's dead or something like that. It does seem like a couple conversations they had, it seemed like their mom had just died and it was like the first Christmas without her or something like that. But they don't go super into it because, you know, these guys that are in this movie are like super, super stoic and it's like they don't talk about their feelings or any girly shit like that. You know what I mean? They're just kind of like...
It's an all-male cast.
Yeah, it's like there's no... I don't think there's no women in this movie, is there? I don't think
there was a lot of stuff that was from the thing.
Yeah.
It's an all-male cast. There was kind of like a Russell Keith David dynamic going on between the two leads. Except that they had their kids with them.
Yeah.
I think at least one of them had his kid, but I don't remember the other one.
The other guy had a kid too.
Yeah,
the other kid's name was Juso, I think. Yeah. That was like the other kid's,
they found where they
Pietari's friend.
They found where they fucking cut the Santa out of the ice. It was like the scene where McCready and the guys found the place where the
block of ice was. Yeah. So and it's definitely an homage to that, definitely.
And a lot of the kind of stuff they were wearing was kind of from the thing.
Yeah, it was very similar. Which, like I said, you know, you could say because it's in a similar climate, but I think they were very deliberately trying to homage.
And you see, they were going like, they dug it up out of the ice, the damn Americans. Well, in the thing,
it was the Finnish.
McCready was going, the Swedes.
The Swedes or whoever it was.
They weren't the Swedes, they were the Norwegians, whatever. You know, it's just,
Swedes and Norwegians.
Yeah,
so it's all the same.
They were playing that. They were doing that kind of thing. They dug it up out of the ice, and it's pissed off.
So they like I said, they definitely did that, and there was a little bit of an homage to a couple homages to Indiana Jones as well. Yeah. Raiders of the Lost Ark rather. But the thing that's cool about it is that the little kid, you can tell the dad is kind of like, I don't know if he's necessarily disappointed in the kid, but he's just always kind of like this fucking kid that he's like stuck with. So he's trying to get the kid to like, you know, learn to herd the reindeer, and the kid's like falling over and stuff. And so he's just kind of like, you know, kind of thing. So I think it's kind of cool that like this little kid, Pietari, he's the only one that knows that it's a Santa Claus that they dug out. And he's getting like he's freaking out about it because he's read all the shit about like the big giant monster Santa Claus, and he's pretty sure that that's what's coming. Like he figures out all the clues and everything. And then like he has this great arc where at the end, because he's been kind of like not necessarily shit on by his dad, but his dad's just kind of like just thinks of him as a nuisance, or like he's hopeless or whatever. And so like when he discovers the big monster in the end, and you know all the kids in sacks like at the fucking foot of it, and the ice is melting and everything, the kid just like drops his balls, and he just kind of like becomes the hero, and he has a plan, and he's like, this is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna do this, that, and the other thing. And then he's riding around on this fucking
They try to sling load the kids.
They sling load the kids out in a helicopter, and then the kid gets up on the net, and he's talking in the walkie-talkie, telling everybody what to do and shit like that. That like fucking cracked me up so much. That little boy just like up there telling everybody what to do, and everybody was totally doing it too. They're like, you know, yes sir, and all this other kind of crap. It was fucking hilarious. But yeah, so if you haven't seen this movie, like I said, it's 10 years old.
It doesn't look like it though. It looks like it was made yesterday.
Yeah, it really does. It looks. I mean, the cinematography is really, really nice as well, and I think it helps too that they didn't use, they didn't use any CGI or anything like that I could see.
Yeah, the sling load scene and all.
Yeah, I guess that was CGI.
And the hordes of elves
But it didn't. But it looked pretty good.
Yeah, it looked pretty good. And the Santa was CG, but you couldn't really the frozen Santa?
Yeah,
that was CG, but
it was
pretty good.
I didn't notice.
Yeah,
it wasn't bad. It didn't stand out to me as
good.
like being it was like so 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, you wouldn't know that it was like that old, and I was actually surprised when I looked it up because I'd been hearing about it for so long, and that I was like finally got around to seeing it, and I couldn't believe it was that old. But I don't know if it's better to watch the short films before you see this, or I don't really know.
Just see the movie. I didn't see the short
I think, well, yeah, but I mean, if you see the movie and then you see the short films, which is what I did, I think it really, like, deepens your appreciation for the movie. Okay. So maybe see the short film second. Because, like I said, the short films are more concerned with, like, the company that they made, like, after the events of the movie, I guess. So maybe it actually, even though the short films were made before this movie, maybe it would be better to see the short films after, because that's kind of like, now we have this company started and this is how we do it. Like, this is how we train the Santas and stuff. And so I think maybe in the timeline, that's probably a better way to do it. And plus the fucking short films are hilarious. And I think I watched them on Vimeo, but somebody said that they were on YouTube as well. I'm sure they're on there somewhere because they were like actually pretty popular back in the day. So yeah, if you want, if you haven't seen this, it's like a really, really fun Finnish Christmas movie. And it's such a great idea. I just love the concept of it, and it's like really creative. And it's on Shudder, but I think it's also on Tubi. So if you don't have Shudder, then you can watch it for free with commercials on Tubi if you would like to do that. So I guess anything else you would like to add?
No, that's it.
All right. So we have a couple other Christmas movies we're going to do this week. We've already watched one of them, and then I'm going to watch another one later, like tonight or tomorrow or whatever. So thanks you guys for stopping by as always, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.